Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." Welcome to a journey towards authenticity. Authenticity. It's a word we've all heard, but what does it truly mean? Simply put, authenticity is about being genuine, sincere, and true to oneself. It's about embracing who you are, expressing your true thoughts, feelings, and values, and not being afraid to stand out from the crowd. Now let's take a moment to delve into a story. Picture this: a young woman named Emily. She was a chameleon, constantly changing her colors to blend in with her surroundings. She was always worried about fitting in, about saying the right thing, about doing what was expected of her. Emily was inauthentic. She was disconnected from her true self, living a life that wasn't her own. She was unhappy, unsatisfied, and unfulfilled. But why did Emily choose to live this way? The answer is simple: fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of standing out. It's a fear many of us share, but the cost of this fear can be high. For Emily, it was a life lived in the shadows, a life of missed opportunities, a life of unrealized potential. But authenticity is more than just being true to oneself. It's about living in alignment with your values and beliefs. It's about expressing your thoughts and feelings honestly and openly. It's about embracing your imperfections and flaws, understanding that they are part of what makes you uniquely you. The journey to authenticity isn't always easy. It can be challenging, uncomfortable, and even scary at times. But the rewards are immeasurable. Authenticity brings freedom, fulfillment, and a deep sense of inner peace. It allows us to live our lives to the fullest, to embrace our unique potential, and to make a meaningful impact on the world around us. Emily eventually realized this. She made the brave decision to step out of the shadows and to start living authentically. It wasn't easy, but with each step, Emily felt a little freer, a little happier, a little more herself. And so, we embark on this journey together. A journey of self-discovery, of personal growth, of authenticity. Remember, the journey to authenticity begins with self-awareness. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of authenticity. It's like holding up a mirror to your inner self, illuminating your values, beliefs, and priorities. This understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth sets the stage for becoming your most authentic self. Consider the story of Alice, a successful entrepreneur. Alice spent years trying to fit into a mold that didn't resonate with her true self. It was only when she took the time to reflect and understand her core values that she was able to align her business and personal life with her authentic self. This shift did not just impact her personal happiness, but also sparked a remarkable growth in her business. Being honest with yourself about your thoughts and emotions, acknowledging your flaws and areas for growth, isn't always easy, but it's a vital step on the path to authenticity. With self-awareness, acceptance comes next. Acceptance, the stepping stone to being your authentic self. It's a powerful tool that can unlock the door to authenticity. Acceptance is about embracing our imperfections and flaws, understanding that they are part of our human journey. It's about realizing that it's okay to make mistakes because they are opportunities for growth and learning. Take, for example, the story of John. John was always striving for perfection, always comparing himself to others. This constant comparison made him feel inadequate, stripping him of his authenticity. But the day he decided to accept himself, flaws and all, was the day he began to truly live as his authentic self. He stopped the comparisons, embraced his mistakes, and learned from them. This acceptance brought about a newfound sense of freedom and authenticity. Remember, comparing your journey to others only distracts from your own growth. Embrace your unique path, and you'll find authenticity in being unapologetically you. Once acceptance settles in, it's time to express your feelings. Authenticity speaks through honest and respectful expression. It's a simple truth that carries immense power. Expressing your feelings is not about airing out every thought or emotion. Rather, it's about communicating what's truly important to you, honestly and respectfully. Consider the story of Lily, a talented artist who had always kept her art to herself, fearing judgment. She felt an internal pressure building up, a yearning to share her passion and her creativity with the world. After some soul-searching, she decided to take the leap. She began to express her feelings about her art, sharing her creations, and speaking openly about her passion. It was scary at first, but the more she expressed, the more authentic she felt. She was finally being true to herself. This journey towards authenticity doesn't mean you have to bare your soul to everyone, but it does mean acknowledging and expressing your feelings in a healthy way. Expression is a sign of strength, and so is setting boundaries. Boundaries are the lines that define us. They are the invisible fences that safeguard our authenticity, our true selves. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. Rather, it's about creating a space where we can thrive, where our authenticity can flourish. Imagine a tree, a mighty oak. It stands tall, firm, and unyielding. It's rooted in its authenticity, not swaying with every gust of wind. But how does it remain so? It sets boundaries. It knows how much sunlight it needs, how much water, how much space. It doesn't allow other trees to encroach upon its territory. It stands its ground, literally. Just like this oak, we too need to set our boundaries. We need to know when to say no, when to step back, when to protect our well-being. This might be challenging at first, but once we learn to set these boundaries, we start honoring our true selves. Think about a time when you felt overwhelmed, when your boundaries were crossed. How did it make you feel? Did it push you further away from your authentic self? Now imagine if you had set boundaries. Would the situation have been different? Would you have felt more aligned with your true self? Now that we have set our boundaries, it's time to align with our values. Alignment, the compass guiding us to authenticity. Living in alignment with our values isn't always easy, but it's the cornerstone of authenticity. It's about honoring what we hold dear and letting those principles guide our decisions, our actions, our lives. Consider the tale of Amelia, a brilliant lawyer with a promising career in a prestigious firm. She had everything she thought she wanted, but something felt off. After some introspection, she realized that her core values revolved around social justice, not corporate law. She made the bold decision to leave her firm and work for a nonprofit organization, advocating for those who couldn't afford legal representation. This decision, while challenging, brought her life into alignment with her values, and in doing so, she felt more authentic, more herself than ever before. Her story illustrates that authenticity isn't about following the crowd, but about staying true to your values. Being authentic doesn't mean stopping to grow. It's about evolving with integrity, always guided by your personal compass. Growth, the only constant in life. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this paradox. It's through continuous growth, both personal and professional, that we can cultivate and maintain our authenticity. Picture a seed buried in the soil. It doesn't remain a seed forever. It sprouts, it grows, it evolves, and in the process, it becomes a magnificent tree, true to its nature. We can draw a parallel to our own lives. Just like the tree, we too have the potential to grow into our most authentic selves. Consider the story of Amelia. She was a high-powered executive who felt unfulfilled in her career. Amelia chose to embrace growth, going back to school to study environmental science, a subject close to her heart. This journey of self-improvement led her to a more authentic life, one that resonated with her true values and passions. Remember, as we grow, we also need to connect authentically with others. Opening, connections, the threads that bind us together. There are few things as enriching to the human experience as forming and nurturing authentic connections. These are relationships built on mutual respect, understanding, and a shared sense of authenticity. Genuine connections not only enrich our lives but also play a vital role in our journey towards authenticity. Let's consider the story of Alex. Alex was a people pleaser who constantly found himself in relationships that felt one-sided. He was always giving, but rarely did he feel received. It wasn't until he began to embrace his authentic self that things started to change. Alex started by sharing his true thoughts and feelings, even when it felt uncomfortable. He communicated his boundaries honestly and respectfully, and surprisingly, people began to respect his boundaries too. This was a turning point for Alex. He realized that by being his authentic self, he attracted people who appreciated him for who he truly was, flaws and all. His relationships began to transform. They were no longer based on a facade, but on mutual respect and understanding. His friends began to share their authentic selves too, and this deepened their connections. They were not just friends who did things together. They were friends who understood, accepted, and appreciated each other's authentic selves. Alex's story is a testament to the power of authenticity in building genuine connections. By sharing our authentic selves, we invite others to do the same. We create a space for mutual respect, understanding, and authenticity. And in this space, we form connections that are enriching, empowering, and incredibly rewarding. In our journey towards authenticity, let's seek to form and nurture these authentic connections. Let's be bold in sharing our authentic selves, and let's encourage others to do the same. Let's surround ourselves with people who accept us for who we are, people who appreciate our authenticity, and people who enrich our journey towards being our most authentic selves. Before we say goodbye, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys towards authenticity.